Hello, and welcome to another update video about ADA. Yeah, the ADA chart continues to be in this triangle. I'm here on the daily chart, and you might remember if you watched previous videos that I'm still leaning here towards a bullish. So I'm still leaning towards a bullish scenario here in the white count, obviously. Yeah. So, but only and really only as long as the market holds above the 51 cent level. So the pattern we've been talking about for the last, let's say, few weeks, this triangle is still valid. So the analysis remains very consistent with previous updates, and I can still track this as an A, B, C, D, E pattern in wave 4 with a wave 5 to come. So 5 waves up is still what I'm watching for in the white scenario. Not super high probability given that no rally in recent months has really been impulsive. So it's all been corrective. Everything has been overlapping, messy, without real strong upside momentum. And therefore, the white scenario is not necessarily high probability, but it's still the preferred scenario as long as we're holding above 51 cents. Just sometimes probabilities are clearer. At the moment, this pattern indicates indecision. But overall, as I said, as long as we're holding about 51 cents, I'm watching for this pattern of higher lows and lower highs. We could be working on that D wave now, get an E wave, then break out. When we're tracking a triangle like that, because it's a pattern of indecision, there's of course also a bearish outcome, but it's important to understand the levels. So 51 cents is here the key level that must hold to keep the white count alive, and the level that, if broken, would shift the probabilities towards the yellow count. And the yellow count is the short-term bearish one that would likely lead to a test of the October, September, August lows last year. Now let's take a look at the shorter time frame for ADA, because here I still show in white the potential for one more low, but the price already reached our support zone for the B wave pullback. Quick reminder, what were we talking about? So again, the idea is that a D wave of a triangle could be unfolding after a C wave finished here. Here on the 7th of April. The move up was a 3-wave move. That's not clearly bullish, but due to the context, we're leaning towards a bullish outcome. We had a 3-wave pullback that could have formed another low, but that move up here is now a little bit too high for one more low, or at least one more direct low. So I'm starting to consider the low might be in this B wave. As mentioned yesterday with a question mark, we talked about yesterday the situation that the price already broke briefly above resistance. That's when I made the video yesterday, highlighted, okay, certainly something to watch for. And then today a higher low, and now it's starting at least to break above yesterday's high. I mean, there are initial signals that we could have bottomed there in the B wave. That's just no change to the count, right? A wave up, B wave down, higher low. That's what we wanted to see in a B wave. I mean, it can still find a way to form somehow here make another test of support. But for now, as long as the intraday low here located at 61.2 cents is holding, I'm watching this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Towards the 100% extension potentially at 78 cents. That's also the target I mentioned to you yesterday. That was already a measurement we made together here, where I measured the A wave and then we compare that to an ideal target of the C wave. Condition is that this last low is holding that formed on Wednesday, right? But in the short term, if this is really here pushing higher like that, we should now hold above the, Friday low that formed at 61.2 cents. So it's low probability given that we are, running into the weekend. So I don't expect much volume. But for now, all I can say is this move up is a little bit too high to be the white wave 4, even though I don't want to completely rule it out. So it remains a fragile pattern, given that this is all corrective. But over recent weeks, it's followed the projection nicely, and the levels, resistance got tested, support got tested. Now, if it holds the intraday low, it should be on its way to that 77 to 78 cent area. That's the update about ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.